The feud between lions and warthogs has been going on since the beginning of the ages. As it happens, one is the prey and the other the predator. But can they switch places overnight? Sometimes nature plays a cruel joke with animals, and warthogs manage to drive away lions and even survive the skirmish. But this is rather the exception to the rule. Most of the time, the lions dominate the whole section of the fight and end up getting what they want, purposefully stalking their prey and getting it wherever they can. Once the lion has smelled the prey, the warthog can no longer hide. As you have already guessed, today is the edition of the confrontation in the wilderness. Lion versus a warthog. The best moments of warthog hunting recorded on camera. Get comfy, we're starting. Number 1. Our issue starts with a story about a young lion catching a warthog cub and deciding to take a bite. By the way, lions often steal other people's babies from other smaller animals. But in most cases, they do it to lure out the larger animals. In other words, the babies are just bait. If we are talking about hungry seasons, lions are satisfied with small ones. Because they are guided by one principle: better something than nothing at all. Our hero has tracked down an adult warthog and followed it all the way to its den. But smelling the predator, the warthog ran away, leaving his burrow with the cub. It didn't take long for the predator to grab the cub and drag it to the surface. As a rule, if lions want to lure larger prey, they are in no hurry to kill the cubs. They play with them, sparingly damaging them for appearances. But if no one comes to their aid, they eventually get bored and finish the job. This is precisely the case we are now witnessing. On the channel, Animal World, you'll see the best content you've ever seen. If you're interested in the best animal videos, confrontations, and battles, please subscribe now so you don't miss new videos. And they come out every day for your entertainment. Number 2. And now we see a hungry lion pride enjoying its delicious prey. As a rule, the lion's pride is hunted by lionesses. The king of the beasts himself very rarely goes out to hunt. The exception is when the lion is without a pride or the pride needs very strong help. Such things happen in skirmishes with larger prey such as elephants or giraffes. But in our case, it's just a small piglet. That's why the females decided to eat it on their own. It's the way it is that lionesses hunt in the pride, and they always take the big prey to their king, and what's smaller they can eat on their own. And yet, if a lion were to come to this feast, the females would not get much. Because when it comes to dividing the prey, the lions get the biggest pieces. And if the females suddenly decide to oppose something, they can get a lot of it. Number 3. And in this footage, we see a young lioness's brilliant hunt for a warthog. She had been stalking him for a long time and he finally led her to his abode. On seeing the predator, the warthog jumped sharply into his cave, hoping to hide, but the lioness had already smelled him. The warthog could not hide. With a powerful lunge, the lioness grabbed the pig's throat and dragged it out. With a powerful grip, the lioness throws her prey over herself and begins to break through the warthog's weaknesses. An uninvited guest arrives at the cries of struggle. Without asking, he grabs the warthog by the lower part of the body and tries to bite off his piece. As a rule, a bigger one. The hyena doesn't even notice the lioness and attacks the pig from its side. Yes, when animals are hungry they make very rash moves. You'd think you'd be going up against a lion. But no, nature is very interesting in its unpredictability. That's why we see two predators trying to put down a boar together. After a while, the lioness manages to get hold of her opponent's neck, and she applies her deadly grip. At the same time, the hyena on the opposite side pierces the boar's weaknesses. When the deed was completed, the lioness breaks her alliance with the hyena with a powerful blow to the uninvited guest. What did you expect? A predator will never share its prey, especially if it is an order of magnitude stronger. In the end, the lioness drives the hyena away and takes the trophy in her teeth to get away from the place of attack. Number 4. Another moment when the lionesses together caught a warthog and almost quietly decided to eat the prey themselves. As a rule, there is rarely an alpha female among the females, who eats first and so on. Usually, there is no hierarchy among females, and they all eat equally, along with their cubs. Yes, there are skirmishes at the dinner table, but they are very rare and sometimes end quickly, just as they began. Usually the skirmishes start when the lion arrives. Because he claims all the prey and if he is hungry, He can also kill a female if she arises a lot. In return, however, females can only harm the offending female when she is satiated. But this happens very rarely for very simple reasons. Lionesses evaluate their strength adequately and will never go out against a strong male, which is even more than twice their size. There are exceptions, of course, but they are very rare and usually end badly for the female. Number 5. Once again a team effort to catch a juicy warthog. The pride did very well and provided a good meal. Only the females began to share the tasty pig as the father of the family arrived and naturally rolled up his rights to the prey. As stated earlier, the male quickly drives the females away and begins to settle for a boar. Naturally, the females are not happy, but none will oppose the male, because this is fraught with consequences, and they understand that. The only salvation is to take a bigger bite and run away from the place of confrontation. Which is what females do in most cases. Number 6. Another example of the fact that it is better not to joke with your father when he is hungry. Caught prey by the pride is quickly taken away by the starving lion. He literally covers it with his body and does not let anyone within a meter distance. The cats walk around, trying to take a bite and also enjoy the food. But the lion doesn't think so. He brilliantly fights off all the lioness's attempts to grab at least a piece of fatty, juicy meat. Sometimes the lioness manages to snatch a little, and that's when the male is simply distracted by the delicious food. But when he realizes that he is surrounded on all sides, he comes to his senses again and disperses everyone to an acceptable distance. The laws in a lion's pride are very cruel, and I am becoming more and more convinced of this as I study and observe these beautiful animals. What I personally liked most was how the lioness masterfully stalked, put down, and even fought off the prey from the hyena. What did you personally like? Be sure to write about it in the comments below. So that was it, lion versus a warthog. The best moments of warthog hunting recorded on camera. If you liked the video, please like it and write what you think in the comments below. To join our fun and get the latest videos from our channel as soon as they are uploaded, all you have to do is click the subscribe button and the bell. And that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. See you again.